Hello everybody, this is Kirby over yonder, and The Owl House is a recent Disney Channel show about a girl named Luz being sent into a fantasy world where she gets to learn how to be a witch from a witch named Ida. As of recording this, there are only 10 episodes, but so far it's pretty great. I've always been a sucker for high-concept fantasy and lore-based cartoons, and this show definitely appeals to that. However, the one aspect of the show that got me the most intrigued was the character Amity. Amity is first introduced in the third episode, I Was a Teenage Abomination, in which she catches Luz helping Willow cheat on an assignment. As of this episode, Amity is mostly just a character for us to root against. We're not really supposed to think about her, we're just supposed to dislike her. She reappears in the 5th episode, Convention, where she challenges Luz to a magic duel, in which Luz cheats. There seems to be a theme here. This episode still paints her as Luz's rival, however we do see a glimpse of her more sympathetic side around the end. Then we get to the 7th episode, Lost in Language, in which we immediately see Amity reading a book to a bunch of children. She says she does it for extra credit, but it's clear that she has some sort of sentimental attachment to the book. Luz sees this and thinks this means that they can start being friends. However, Amity makes it clear that she wants nothing to do with her. Soon after, Luz meets Amity's siblings, of whom clearly aren't on the best terms with her. However, Luz befriends them anyways and hopes that it'll lead to her befriending Amity. They go back to the library later that night where all the book characters are allowed to come into the real world. They find Amity's secret hideout where Luz looks into her diary by mistake. This is where Amity's true feelings about Luz are revealed, that she doesn't hate Luz, but is constantly being hurt or embarrassed by her, and generally just wants to mind her own business. Amity even flat out calls her a bully after seeing her looking at her diary. This completely recontextualizes everything we know about Amity's character. Alright, so I'm about to paraphrase, something that Shady Durog said in his Tuka and Birdie video, so just bear with me here. But the thing about harassment is that, unlike most other crimes, whether or not something is considered harassment depends on the victim. You could go up on the street and hug a random person, and some people would consider that harassment, while other people wouldn't. This makes it easy for someone to harass somebody else without even knowing it. This is what happened to Amity. In her first appearance, she was cheated out of being top student, and in her second appearance, she was cheated out of having a good future. I know in that second example, Amity technically cheated too, but that was without her knowledge. In neither of these episodes did Luz intend to hurt Amity, but she did regardless. When I first saw Amity, I just saw her as a one-dimensional bully character, but looking back at her now, I see a character who certainly isn't the nicest person out there, but genuinely worked hard to achieve her goals and was cheated out of them. Even in Lost in Language, when Luz saves Amity's life, Amity still isn't sure how to feel about Luz. You can tell that she's definitely going to warm up to her as the series goes on, but it's still going to have to take some time. You can't just magically befriend someone you previously hated. What we can learn from Amity is that the people in our lives that we consider to be bullies may in fact be the victims.
I've been trying to figure out what your deal is. Are you a poser? A nerd? I know. You're a bully, Luz.